just me, Si, Anchurio. I like Anchurio. It's what my dad was going to call me before I was born. But it took ages for me to get born. By that time, he named his some tweeds, actually, back in the day, back in the 60s. And named his designer tweed suits and stuff like that, Anchurio instead. And I was called Simon. But Anchurio kind of stuck in a way. Has been my business name, really. That's my altar, if you like. I did have a credit card, actually. Not credit card, my business plastic card. Didn't have my name on it, it just says Anchurio on it. I thought, that looks cool. Like that, sounds cool. But yeah, it wasn't as if I kind of like thought, wow, what's I call myself? So it was kind of more of a, that was like a, unbeknownst at the time. I didn't realise how important this would be as a means or a mechanism to another and a better school of thought. Yeah? Talking about myself now. And it was fantastic. Now, when it comes to sharing this school of thought with anyone else, well, I got to say, it's been an absolute abysmal state of affairs with people's not even acceptance. We have had a case of CND, and I'm talking from Anchurio perspective. I can be a bit different, yeah, from the side. And I can see things from this perspective so incredibly clearly that it will blow the boots, no matter how silver, gold or black those boots may be, off anyone. Trust me. In the corner, and yes, there is a fucking corner. Yeah? Well, there is a corner in this instance, because guess what? The mechanism used corners. Get that, people? Boxes, more often than not, contain corners, right? And boxes do have a fucking corner on them, don't they? Do you reckon, people? Is anyone out there bright enough to actually recognise what I'm saying? If you've got a box in the vicinity, have a look at it. There's one there. Does it have a corner? Or two? Maybe 3, 4. Have a look underneath as well. But it's got a couple more, if not another 2 underneath that too. Depends what type of box it is, but not more often than not a square box or like a cube box. Corners. Right, people, get me. Listen, Anchurio speaking here, not Si. Anchurio. So I can be as cocky as I fucking like. Plus, I've been doing all these all night long. been mapping out shit. Oh man, you would not believe what I tap into. It's just mad shit, and it's good. It's mad because it's so good. I mean, I tell you what, anyone who comes around here and has a look at this, or actually absorbs it, or I know it's very scatty. Kind of like, oh shit, I'm holding the camera. Bum. Oh, it's not a camera, it's a phone. By the way, check this out. For like slabs of righteousness. The sweetest is out there now. For everyone to know about revenge and its sweetness and its fulfillment. Well, take it from my book that the sweetest revenge is always hands-free and self-induced by the person. So yeah, kind of like, I've been working on this. Come on, people, give me a chance. Revenge is sweet, especially when it's touchless tech. Touchless tech. Or indeed a touch screen. Tech. Yeah. Or even touchscreen tech. I'll work on that one. Like I said, no rehearsal. So yeah, touchless tech. Touchscreen tech. Revenge is sweet when it's touchless. Technology. Touchscreen technology. It's quite funny really, because people are like, what are you on about? And fingering themselves on their phone. Not quite getting what I'm saying. But don't worry about it, because you don't have to fucking get it. When I say fingering yourself, I mean just type it in to your phone. Anything. Taking a selfie. Even typing in your computer. Even what I'm doing now, I'm not actually touching the phone at the moment. I'm fingering myself, see, all the time. I always finger myself. But at least I show people how I finger myself. Other people kind of like hide how they finger themselves, and they finger themselves even more that way. It's quite intriguing and interesting. Very interesting. Crazy times. It's all about the DNA, the divine narrative awareness. Oh yeah, I got CND in the corner. You know the corner of that box? I got CND, you know that fucking CND? You better believe me now. That's right. I got CND in the corner. That's cognitive, narcissistic, dissident, or dissidence. You know what I mean, innit? But yeah, we got cognitive dissonance, or whatever it's called. People know what I mean. And you know me, English is not my first language. Back in the day. But we've got the other element now where everyone talks about this, haven't they? Isn't it strange how, when I first started these films, I have to say, no one was speaking about the personality types of that have been kind of like almost prolific in this exposure and sticking out like sore thumbs. And we all know who they are. And because of their nature, I'm not going to mention them just yet because people know who they are. And they themselves will probably think that I'm talking about myself, but I'm not. I'm talking about the narkies. There's quite a lot of shit on the internet now about them, innit? Because it's an energy. That's why. The Jezebel spirit. And the likes of the green-eyed, envy, monster, goblin, gaslighter type of character that everyone kind of knows in some sort of way or another. The more fortunate that they are, the less people like this that they know. And that's pretty true when it comes down to relationships and who you spend your life with as the external, the player too, from your point of view. Speaking from a first person point of view, yeah? So, with no bias or grudge, because I'm speaking from a first person point of view at this point, yeah? And so everyone else can grasp this. It's not too difficult if they just actually think about it from their point of view too. About what I'm saying. I'm not like blowing anyone's minds yet. But I've got like this cognitive dissonance, this cognitive dissonance, with the spine of narcissism. That's what the peace sign is. The narcissist is the pillar. And everything else around it, it's just frilly fucking bits. And yeah, so I've got really off track, haven't I, on the peace sign. Fucking hell. What was I going to say about the something else as well? Wow. Because people don't quite know yet, do they? What's going to really come out. They've not looked at my old films. You may have to look on the operationhedgehog.wordpress.com retrospective MP4 videos from a couple of years ago. Right? And I'll put more on there in a bit now. Well, later. Well, after I finish this film. I've got... That was just like a taster. This is great. It's really... The collective consciousness, or the collective conscious, has been kind of divided in a way. And there is a school of thought which is considered A class. Okay? Now this school of thought is A class. And it's very easy for people to actually understand this if they actually realize without tripping up over themselves too much. Okay? Now the A class involves everything that you love, most likely. Yeah? The A class is the already ascended crew, if you like. There you go. And there's many of them. Call it the VIP suite. I'm trying to meld it with, for people to understand this, but when a person or an individual wrote of life experiences this physical plane in its own experiential boundaries, depending on what life it recorded, talking about it as as in its lifetime. Let me put it this way. To boil it down for people to understand easily, without, I don't want to sound cheesy, say Jimi Hendrix or Bob Marley, yeah? Because they did quite a lot of good music, or not even a lot, just good music, and have resonated within people, and obviously have lived on longer than they've been living in the flesh. Yes, of course, they are A class, without a doubt. But I'm just like applying that to, say, a musician. This A class is quite large. You know? It's got some of the finest there, and this is like the collective consciousness being of what is righteously evolving the original. Adventure. Original. Believe me. Speaking on full behalf. Serious. Tapping my foot, look at that. I don't know. Trainers are really cheap now, aren't they? Oh yeah, plus people. You know, in my delivery, I do go a little bit like off on one and go a little bit wacky and funny. Because to be honest with you, I really could not do this otherwise. If it wasn't for those little injections of humour. And I think it's good for other people as well. You know, who actually who do pay attention to this, because it's quite fucking heavy. And stuff to kind of get your head around. One thing that I notice over the past, I'd say, 20 odd years of my life, considering the tread on these Jesus creepers, look at them. You can't see the tread in them, they're really good. Considering the tread on all my shoes, well, I didn't really matter about that. I never could. And depending on, considering the amount of stuff that I've done, really, creatively, you know, kind of like contributing, stuff like that. The traction, I never ever had any traction. The traction was quite difficult. Lack of traction. Yeah. So it is highly evident for me that it was not so much paranoia. It was just like an awareness really over time. As it was so long that paranoia didn't even come into it. It was just more of like, how the shit have I managed to do that? There must be an award or something for amount of time spent doing a certain subject quite well. I'm not even getting anywhere. Not even that though, but like literally, but being ignored as if like I was a tramp, and that's well before I looked like what people may see as a tramp. You know, visibly. I don't know that trampy, do I? See, I have to diverge for a bit of humour. I've got some heavy shit coming here now. And I'm not talking about any bowel movement. I'm talking about these charts. Well, you know, kind of charted. Oh yeah, by the way, I want people to know that there's like, this is what I did. So I don't want people to, see this is the original one. Oh, it's self-contained, whole, within the whole, self-contained, nothing sticking out, nothing sticking in. Sorry about that. It's in a bubble. See, like that. And I'm talking about schools of thought. Now, yeah. And this is massive. It's bigger than the cosmos, bigger than the universe. So when I say schools of thought, you think, oh, what are you about? I'm talking pretty big now. I'm talking macro. I'm talking macros. People. I'm talking magnificence. Let's make that one up. I'm talking about macro sensibility and understanding it from this psychologically. Well, macro. Let me try and make something up for a sec. It's a sense, a psychological understanding from a macro perspective of the magnificence and the enormous situation that people are in, really. Because everything we see on the TV, well, having people see on the TV is total distraction. Total distraction. People know this stuff. People talk about this. But if they only knew of why they're distracted so much. Whew. Now, there are people who do not know. Who probably look at me, look at him, whatever, or you talking shit. But they just don't know what I'm documented, right, is, put it this way, like I've said to many people before, and always say, that people are going to be put in the corner of actually, they have to look at themselves, really, because they don't have to look at me. Because I'm saying to everyone out there, now, and everyone out there, I'm talking to normal, run-of-the-mill people who accept their or think what they want. Accept the script. Got do commercial shit like I don't know, get jobs and shit. Got Siri as their companion and stuff like that. Those type of people are never going to understand this. And that's what's mad about it. They will kind of like, oh man, this is like so deep, because, and people know it as well, that people are, the demon scream is where people will, I don't want to point any fingers at people, I really don't, but they point at themselves, literally, when they pointed at themselves all along, and that's what's going to be freaky. And like I said, I don't have to do anything. Just show these people up. Nothing. They've done it themselves. It's mad. And because I was documenting my life the past 22 years, I guess, writing it down and shit, in some sort of way, at least chronicling the experience in whatever way I could. Lots of people I know have been mentioned, yeah. All along. Well, not lots, only a few. Not that many, actually. But, and they kind of like, they are examples. Don't even mention them again. I know, I'm not going to mention them. But they seem to want to mention themselves. Well, actually, only one of them does. I wouldn't bother, honestly, I think. Because, nah. So, fucking heck. These people are obviously, my point of view, almost designed to counter what has been in the finding of. Designed to, perfectly. They're almost like the perfect agent. Undercover, a deep, dark agent to counter. In my view, and I have the proof and evidence too, that I don't want to actually get out. I'm not going to throw, because it's just fucking ridiculous, and it doesn't get me into trouble at all. No. So I don't want to get anyone into trouble, like I said. It doesn't get me into fucking any trouble whatsoever. I mean, I could pull it out, but it's just going to fucking do someone else's potential. Like I said, they've done it themselves. So, unless they really want to fucking, because I could, I mean, I will do, if they just fuck about. But what I mean by that is that I do not want to even know or speak to these people again. It doesn't mean that we've kind of done it. We've worked together. Thank you. Yes, there is a division going on mentally, because there's people who are committed to their core values, CO, their core values, which are their ancestry. That's their thread, their energy, their past lives in a way, if you get what I mean. That's the energy that they've carried in their blood all the way from the start. Now, whether you can be proud of this, most people are proud of it. And most people throw it about. Yeah, use it as their mechanism to move forward. Now, this is where it's going to become really apparent to people. And especially the people who kind of like did use the old mechanism. This obsolete mind state that's becoming the paradigm lost. It's absolutely obsolete and very visible. So when I said that everyone is going to get better at what they do, I'm saying, yeah, they will. So the people who were more sneaky, snide, crap, cheesy, not necessarily honest, but more of a deceiver. You know, those types of people who just not bullshit so much, but really did surf or kind of blag their way through. And work were quite visible whilst doing so. They're just going to get even more visible. They're going to get better at being shit, and being pretty fucking crap. Right? I don't know which way to put it. Thinking that they can get one over or something like that, because that's all they think. It's about beating them down, or beating the next person down, or whatever. It's always about a fucking competition. And this is where they kind of do contend with the worst of their own selves. Nothing to do with me. So I'd rather not. Can't be bothered with these people then. Like I said, been loved out. No way. I don't even know him. I shook his hand the other day though. He came out of his house, it's funny. I went down there to see Steve, and I knocked on. I I mean, because I know, like, there's a slight possibility Loveday might fucking be like, coming out of his house whilst I'm knocking on. I was thinking, oh, you know what I'm going to say and shit. But like, I knocked on the door and there was no answer. I didn't. So I looked on the back and I could hear like some commotion downstairs in the basement. And well, and then the door opened, fucking Loveday walked down, And he went, rah. He came out, I went, and I'm fair play, he put his hand down, he took my hand, he went, oh, fucking, the basement's fucking flooded with fucking shit. That's the fucking, the drains had gone. The drains had gone and the sewage melted into the fucking basement of the house. And it was like shin deep. They were shin deep in fucking, loads of fucking shit and Tampax. Flushed down the bog from the church next door. From all the church goers, like. From all the drovies. Not joking. It's funny that, I mean, I was at a slight concern, you know what I mean? I said, it's shit, isn't it? I didn't start laughing or anything like that. I mean, they were a bit concerned about the house. Waffling, aren't they? But anyway, I shook his hand. Well, he held his hand out, and I've got to say, I shook it. I didn't give it a good film squeeze and say, sorry mate. Kind of because I couldn't believe it was Loveday. And I thought, well, the universe has done this, hasn't it? And fair play, he's holding out his hand. And Dave Dogg's behind him, and we met Dave. So I know you're not going to fucking pull out anything crazy and try anything mad, so they were more concerned about the cellar being like full of fucking turds and shit like that. Stank. So it's kind of like the universe thing to me. Don't worry, Si. No need for again. Even think about any revenge, really. Loveday. Fair enough. I know, yeah, universe. Yeah, fucking fair play. If I didn't think of revenge, it'd be a bit of shit. Because he's gonna get something up and stuff. I swear. Well, he's got it. He's getting it. He's had it. He's actually lived it. And he's living it. And it's going to get worse, too. Not joking. Am I waffling? No, I hope it doesn't get that too much worse for him. But he is going to fucking, unless he's fucking... Oh my gosh. I mean, like, what I heard about what happened to him yesterday, nothing to do with me. But it's as if he's having a bit of a bad luck at the moment. Anyway, nothing to do with me though. That's what's up mad about this. Nothing to do with me. Nothing at all. Not like I won't not organised anything. I know for anything to happen to him. Apart from himself doing it. So people will the spice of life. It's the variety of culture. Always remember that. Audrey rearrange the words to really am waffling now. 33 minutes. Oh my god. I'm going to put this on Patreon, right? It's not going to go on YouTube. Well, I can put it on YouTube, but I won't make it available for people. I thought there was something else that was really important for people. Oh yeah, next one. Oh, someone please get me a camera. Why doesn't anyone want to talk to me? I'm not freaking weird. Please talk to me, someone. You can say hello on a text. Because we've got to fucking familiarise. We need more familiarity. And people now, I think they're a little bit scared by what could be considered by the alt media's brainwashing. What could be considered alters of mine, talking about me now, yeah. It's the reason why I'm trying to think about why people don't talk to me. It's because of these modes and alters that I can snap in and out of seemingly at will. And I think more anything weirder than I'll tell you what, like some of the shit online. It's a bit, who actually label themselves as channelers and shit like that. And go like that. I'm channeling this person now. And I'll make a funny voice and shit. Well, I mean, the vocal thing is more of a delivery thing. Because like I said, I'm quite casual with my words and delivery. But it's been a good kind of exercise for me to pronounce my words better, because people would not understand me otherwise. And it's been a good exercise for people to listen in on the words, rather than just think about what words to say next when actually over the person who's speaking. This has seriously been engineered as far as people's reaction and realization of reality. Yeah, definitely. Okay. 37 minutes.